Usually in the spring, before temperatures get too warm, sometime in April, you can propagate lots of plants, especially chrysanthemums, asters, Virginia, yarrow. These are plants that produce little tiny roots on the shoots during the month of March. Might even be earlier than that. You just go out in the garden, and in some cases, you can just pull by hand these little shoots like this. And if you look carefully, they've got brand new roots. These plants have a high degree or potential to grow fast with new roots, so you can transplant these little shoots in small containers, or sometimes you can put them right in the garden. It is important that you take bags with you and you label whatever plant this is. This is chrysanthemum single pink, so you know what plants you have. If need be, you can also use the shears and reach down with the shears and cut some of these shoots off, especially if the shoots are a little bit harder. What you don't want to do is, by pulling the shoots, break off the shoots without the roots. So you might need a razor, you might need a knife, you might need a shears. But there's many plants that you can do this with in the spring. Just pull these out like this, and if you look carefully, you can see all the new roots. And if you don't have these plants in your garden, I don't suggest you sneak into your neighbor's yard at night, but ask your neighbor, because really you're not hurting the plant. You're only taking about 1/100th of the plant away, and that gives you your own new plant. Just take your shears, reach down, trim, and here we have two great plants. There are other plants that you can propagate, like your summer phlox. This is Phlox paniculata David. It's a mildew-resistant variety, so it's one you probably want to have in your garden. Keep in mind, when soil temperatures get above 40 degrees, the roots begin to grow, just like with your bulbs in a garden. If you look carefully, there's hundreds of shoots. So just pull these plants right up. And to give you an example of what they look like, you can see the roots against my green shirt. Now, some of you might be wondering, why spring? Well, all last year, these plants with the sun produced sugars and nutrients that are down in the roots. So these sugars and nutrients are coming back into the plant, and they allow the plant to produce new roots, and it really wants to grow. All you have to do is come in and trim this plant. So you just, like this, here it is. It may not have roots, but if you look really closely, there is a little tiny root just beginning right there. This is one of my favorite shade plants. It's known as Virginia or pig squeak. And all you do is take this little plant and put it in a 2-inch pot, and it will produce new roots right at the base. You can have all the plants you want. You can fill your whole garden, plus even expand it. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
For more garden tips, go to inthegardenradio.com.